I'm not going to worry. That's not something I'm concerned about right now. I'm just trying to make a show and hopefully get some people to watch it. That's all I really care about. The pops are inconsequential to me on this.
Okay, we got the handshake from Twitch.
Okay.
We got the handshake from YouTube.
Okay.
We got the handshake from Facebook.
Okay.
Put the clapper in front of your face.
Okay. Want me to start the clock?
Start the clock.
Okay.
When you hit the clapper, you're on the air.
Okay. Okay. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. This is DJ Brass Knuckles, Richard Jazowski again. Something different in Buffalo here on Think Twice Radio. This is show number 167 on Sunday, November 27th, 2022. And this is a late starting show here, so it's going to run past midnight, and so it'll be like the 28th also here. But for now, it's technically the 27th. There's a lot of things I want to talk about here, and as usual, because this is going to be a special edition show here. And I got a lot of things to do, and I got a lot of things to take care of over here. A lot of issues to bring up, and basically I'm going to repeat some issues I did in my show number 166, and it's going to be a message to the radio stations and to the Peace Bridge and everybody else over here, so I want to get that going over here. But before I do, I'm going to start off with a little happy birthday to my Aunt Rose. She had a birthday on November 14th, and she's officially 98 years old. I've been trying to understand when she was 98, but I checked her birthday, and I was off by a couple of times on a couple of my shows, but this is the truth here. She's absolutely 98 years old. Unfortunately, she's suffering some health problems. I can't say health problems. I mean, I know her hearing is no longer existing. She lost her hearing, so she's moved in with her daughter. And to my family over here, I just want you to know our Uncle Larry passed away several months ago. I just was talking to my cousin who's taking care of my aunt. And she let me know about that, informed me about that. And that's only for my family over here. As usual, thank ThinkTwiceRadio.com, Pam Swartz, Rob Nesbitt. Love to members of my family, my late mother, my sister Audrey, her daughters Christina and Melinda, and her son Zachary. My brother Donald, his wife Jeannie, I believe it is, her wife Jeannie, and her son. I'm so upset right now. I lost the material on my flash drive, and I was going to use that for my show today, but unfortunately I lost it, and it took forever and a day to get this thing prepared. So you have to forgive me if I'm speed dialing through and making a lot of mistakes along the way here. So anyway, like I say, my brother Donald, his wife Jeannie, and son James, my brother Thomas and his family, my brother Pete, his son Pete Jr., his daughter Selena, and again my Aunt Rose and my Uncle Andrew, who still exists right now, but I don't know how much longer that's going to be. And since my Aunt Rose celebrated a birthday, I'm going to start this off here with a little birthday song here, but let me put it up here real fast here so you get a chance to see it. And if I can shoot this camera up real quick the right way here. Okay. It's the Mom and Dad Parade. So I'm going to play the song here by the Mom and Dad Parade. This is my Aunt Rose right here. This is in her younger days, and that was her husband who passed away several years ago. And she definitely loved him a lot. So when I went to visit her, he was definitely a huge fan of Frank Sinatra. He always performed some songs with Frank Sinatra. I know I'm not going to play Frank Sinatra on my show. You want to do that, that's other place. But let me go with right now here. Let me start this off real quick with this little thing here I'm going to do for the birthday here.
No, not happy birthday. No, not that. Please, no, not happy birthday.
Okay. Well, I hope you like that part there. Okay. Bring this back over here real quick. Okay. And now I'm going to start playing the Happy Birthday song here by the Mom and Dad Parade here on Something Different in Buffalo. Okay, that was the Mom and Dad Parade with the song Happy Birthday Song. As you said, I've been showing you some stuff, some pictures, pictures about my Aunt Rose. And this person here, the top person, that was her husband who passed away. And he's, as I found out, he's related to the actor down below there, Danny Kaye, the late Danny Kaye. They're related in some portion. I'd forgotten how it was. I mean, she told me about it, but I kind of forgot it, and I'm sorry about that. But I do know for a fact that he was related to Danny Kaye. So, they had a little good bloodline over there. And a few things I picked up on from being with my Aunt Rose over there. I'll let you read that real quick here. I don't have a lot of time here, so I got to make this as quick as I can. Okay, and there's a little place there where she lived. This is a house she lived in up until a few months ago, when her health. Well, now I keep trying to saying her health, but her hearing. She lost her hearing, and she's been kind of down in the dumps a lot. So, hopefully, if you give some prayers to her and help her get through this. And I showed you a couple of pictures of some things she did. I don't have not much time to show this here to you. So this thing here, I showed you this here. Well, she was on, when I met her last year, she was on, well, even before that, she was on the internet quite a bit. She was also communicating with a lot of people over the years. And she communicated with me through a lot of stuff there, and she had a lot of followers to support her. A lot of people were talking to her on the internet. I don't know what happened to her. I really think she should be on the internet again, since she can't hear, but she can at least read. And she should be getting some, some fan mail, from some of her fans to talk to her and comfort her in her last, declining years. So I hope that works out. Okay, all right. I would show more, but I'm pressed for time here, and I got to get going here. So let me move on quickly again one more time here. Okay, quickly now, go to cable channel 1302, and I got a special announcement to make about this, you see. Starting in January, you're going to be seeing my face on the public access channel 1302 on a weekly basis, because I managed to talk to the people at the public access channel about this, and I've already signed a contract with them, and I'm combining a lot of my public access TV shows which I made, and also those podcast shows that you're seeing now, and I got a lot of them here. And so I'll be combining all that together. Some months you'll see just public access, the podcast shows, and the other times you'll see my cable access TV shows along with my podcast shows. So and I got plenty of shows, so I'm gonna be running the whole year. So I got the first 3 months already in the bag right now. So after that, we'll take it as we go each month over. And each month is going to be shows I did from each month from podcast, and also like I said, I'll be combining them with my public access TV shows. So look forward to that starting in January. Okay. And most of my shows are on YouTube, so while you're on YouTube, you can go over there and check out the Buffalo Music Archive again, and because that'll be music from Buffalo and Western musicians. And I hope they clean this thing up, because like I told you before, folks, they don't support Buffalo the right way. I mean, they don't put a lot of junk in there that has nothing to do with the Buffalo music scene at all. They had the Buffalo Springfield Band, which is not from Buffalo to begin with. They have a lot of stuff talking about Buffalo with the word Buffalo on it here. That's not what this site is about. This is about supporting the site with Buffalo musicians over here. I got a list of these over here, right here. So follow along with that. And also, like I said, on YouTube. And again, like I said, I hope you'll check out my, send me a comment. You can even comment me on the show right I'm doing right now, as a matter of fact. So I hope, if you want to contact me, make a few comments, whatever you can, I'm going to be here for a little while, so I'll be doing the show for about another 40 minutes or so. So try to enjoy it while you can. And let me know what you think about it, Give me some thoughts about my Aunt Rose if you want to, or whatever. I hope you do that. Okay, moving on quickly now. I'm going to be doing the Peace Bridge issue here. And I had some material on this thing. Oh, yeah, well, I think I have a song by the Goo Goo Dolls concerning the Peace Bridge here. And I don't know if I have it here. No. Where did I put it? Oh, Buffalo Central Terminal. Okay, I'm going to play some here about Buffalo Central Terminal here. So let me just put this over here like so. Okay, let me set it up here. And let me do Oh, and by the way, this song here is going to be called, what is it called here? Oh, where is it? I just had it here. I got the paperwork on here, wrote it down, and I can't remember what it is. Oh, Jesus, what was the name of that song? Oh, well, I'll probably remember. Here's the Goo Goo Dolls. The Goo Goo Dolls. And I'll be talking about them in a few minutes here with other things here. So here we go.
Said you'd light a candle and you'd say a prayer for me. Well, I feel the light is dimmed and gone, and half the world is begging while the other half steals. Oh, where did everything go wrong? Some days I can't believe, others I'm on my knees.
Okay, that was. Okay, that was the Goo Goo Dolls. The Goo Goo Dolls. You know, one of the bands that Danny Sandpaperface never craps on over the years, all the time. And he figures he might, if he just plays the Goo Goo Dolls only over here, he figures that's gonna, you know, salve my ego and make me forget, you know, tell him what a nice guy he is, but he's a rotten bastard. Pardon the language, but there's nothing else I can talk about with this guy. So, okay, take that off here. One other thing briefly over here. Let me just move this over here real fast over here. I just want to mention something else over here. WBNY 91.3, they're going to be doing the local show again. They're trying to do the local show again starting in December, and it's only going to be for like an hour or 2 hours at tops over here. And in spite of all that, I still consider them the only true radio station that supports Buffalo the right way, because they're the only radio station to actually play music from Buffalo and West New York musicians on a regular basis, on as regular basis as possible. I mean, every once in an hour they will play a band from Buffalo and West New York, but unfortunately, you know, lately I've been listening to the station, and it seems like they try to invest a lot of time on playing corporate sponsored stuff, and that really bothers the hell out of me about that. So, and let me just put that right there. So let me just say, support your hometown bands. That's what they're there for. There's a lot more things I want to talk about on this thing, but unfortunately I'm going to have to. And I wrote a script for myself, but I misplaced the script. So unfortunately, that's going to be going back on it. You know, that's going to be a mess on this thing. This whole thing's been a mess, and I'm sorry about that. I'm trying to get things done as best I can. Okay, one final thing I want to talk about here, as always. When the phony Buffalo wins, the true Buffalo dies. And there's one other thing I want to do also here. I want to apologize to the Filter Kings, because on my 2018 show, I mentioned the Filter Kings, and I don't have their CD with me here, unfortunately, here. And I played one of their songs, and before that I played a routine from George Carlin about the cigarettes, you know. Briefly give it to you quick here. You know something, Bill? These cigarettes of mine, they taste like crap. Say, Dan, crappy taste? Why don't you try the cool, refreshing taste of the Filter Kings? I interjected it with the Filter Kings. Unfortunately, I left the whole scene running, and it may came out bad for the Filter Kings, and I apologize to the Filter Kings. It's been a few years late now, and I'm sorry about that. But I had a chance to listen to that show in November. I put the Filter Kings song on, I believe, in one of the shows in November. And you know, I just want to apologize to them, because I wasn't paying attention to this thing, and so I just want to apologize to that right now. So I hope you understand all that. Okay, now moving on here. Now, I want to say something I should have said about Nether when he said to his listening audience about what Never thinks Anthony Violante said. Okay, now for that, I'm going to need to bring some paperwork up here, because I just happen to bring some stuff over here, which I happen to find after a long period of time. Okay. You see, I was going through the Buffalo News during the early 1990s, and well, let me see here if I can. Well, you know, like I said, I'm going to be doing this while I'm talking to you about this. You see, Never was dumping on his radio station, and the reason he was dumping on Anthony Violante is one particular article here, which I happen to re-find again. So I just want to show this to you here. And this is the article here. And if I get a chance here, I'm going to try to let you hear David, the Nevers family's comments again here. So give me a few moments here. I got to do this right here if I can find it. Shoot. Where is this stuff? There it is. Okay, give me a moment. Give me a couple of moments here. I want you to take a look at this here, because I'm going to tell you once again what's going on here, because I'm going to play a scene one more time here so you get a chance to look at it here. So let me play right here, right now.
And be an expert at, as well as give the most charity to. But before I continue, there's something I want you to see and hear.
What's happening in the most wonderful contest of the day today? Anthony Violante got out his hatchet and his razor, and I think there was a bloody glove there. I'm not sure.
An O.J. Simpson reference, by the way, in case you didn't figure that one out.
But anyway, no, he rated the morning shows in Buffalo and did not get a really good rating from Anthony. And he's a sensitive guy. There are a lot.
Okay, I want to put a pause on that right now because the part you just heard there, you see, once again, Danny Sandpaperface Never has lied to the general public over here because he was right about one point. He did grade the radio stations over here. But he's talking. But he he didn't. He cut out the one part on this report here that you should have seen about this because I had a chance to go over this thing, and if I can get the main copy of this here. Shoot, I had a bigger copy over here. I wanted you to read here. I'm going to try to read it for you anyway here if I can. Well, let me get I'm going to use this tool real quick here. Okay. So let me read it as quick as I can. Buffalo Common Council is ready to shake, rattle, and roll local radio out of its musical doldrums. The council began hearings on local contemporary rock radio stations at 7 p.m. Wednesday in the Common Council chambers in City Hall. Now, I was at that meeting on that Wednesday. And like I've said time and again on this thing, I was sitting behind the representatives of Kiss My Ass 98.5. And after one radio station talked about the supporting the music scene in Buffalo here, Kiss My Ass 98.5, their representatives came to the microphone and just said flat out, we don't give a damn about Buffalo. All we care about is making a profit out of this thing. And in case you think I'm making that up, folks, let me just... I got this article here I want you to take a quick look at over here. Now, I managed to get a larger copy made of this thing. The larger, if you can see this at all. This is the more cleaner run here. And they say they have no legal or moral obligation. Now, I've asked this question once before. When does it become illegal and immoral to support Buffalo in Buffalo? And it turns out I have the answer because apparently there's some rules from the FCC over here based on corporations pressuring the FCC to make these rules to tell the stations like Kiss My Ass 98.5 that it's not supposed, they have no legal right to do this. It's not a matter of legal rights. If you're in Buffalo over here and you're supposed to be supporting Buffalo like you claim you do, you have an obligation to support it whether it's legal or moral or not. It's the right thing to do. But they obviously have some rules and regulations from the FCC over here trying to say it's illegal and immoral to support musicians from our city over here. And if in the later part of this letter over here, they sit there and saying that there no data or direct input from our listeners has given us any reason to believe that a true demand exists for more music from Buffalo musicians over here. Well, if you keep Buffalo and West York musicians off the air, of course nobody's gonna have an opinion about it because nobody knows about it. If you play it like you're supposed to on this thing. So getting back to this article as quickly as I can over here, I'm gonna kind of have to move it along here. Okay, it says, I'm no expert on radio, but I'm angry about the impoverished airwaves we have here in Buffalo, said Councilman David Franzak, who wrote the resolution to hold hearings on the local stations. I remember when rock and roll radio used to be great, and that's because it was fresh, new, and everybody got a chance to be heard. All musicians got a chance to be heard all the time. Even new ones, even one-hit wonders got heard on a regular basis. And that's all we're on from the Buffalo music scene over here on these radio stations, to be recognized and get heard on a regular basis on these stations. And also to play them on a regular station, because that's one of the things the radio stations do all the time. They find a song they like and they play it over and over and over again. They can do the same thing with the Buffalo and West York musicians on this thing. There's no excuse for them not doing this stuff. And to sit there and say that they have no legal or moral obligation, that's basically a blatant communist statement, basically. It's a communist statement that the FCC, these are rules that the FCC were pressured to make by the corporations over here, because corporations want to make their bling bling all the time, and they feel that supporting Buffalo over here, and this is not just the radio stations talking about this. This is the corporations talking about this. We have no legal or moral obligation. It's not about legal or moral obligation. If you're having a radio station in Buffalo over here, don't tell us what you think we want to listen to. I already know what I want to listen to. I want to listen to music from Buffalo and Western musicians on these radio stations. There's a letter that was written about this, and I wish I had more time. If I had more time, anytime at all, I'll tell you about this again. And some other articles on this again here. Let me read this real quick here. A few local radio listeners are as brain dead as the state of local radio would indicate. The resolution reads, and most would appreciate playlists that include at least a few surprises and a healthy dose of Buffalo talent from Buffalo, like Joe Public over here. This is a Buffalo group over here who had basically one hit, Live and Learn, but they have a lot of other good songs as well. WBLK never plays them. And I'm gonna try. There's so much to talk about on here. Okay, let me do this again here. Let me let you continue with this again.
A lot of things that we talk about on the show, things we do on the show that he finds offensive, apparently. So he's given.
The only thing never finds offensive on this thing is the fact that we keep telling him to support music from Buffalo and Western musicians, which is what this article is about. The first one here. See, he was trying to use the claim that. Well, let me let you listen to it here, so you can hear it once again for yourself.
It's very poor rating, and what that has done basically is destroyed our confidence. It's
destroyed his confidence. What a bunch of crap! They didn't destroy nothing over here. They lie about everything about this thing.
Destroyed our confidence, our concentration, our constipation.
And it's really
all that stuff.
Ruined your weekend.
It's ruined my weekend because I had looked forward to relaxing after what I thought was a stellar week of really fine shows.
No, you just can't do that. Thank you very much, Anthony.
Thanks a lot, Anthony. While you're out enjoying your Goo Goo Dolls CD, I'll be...
Yeah, the Goo Goo Dolls. I would like to keep playing that, but I want to move this up a little bit more here.
Hopefully this will be a build-up.
Let's go right to the listeners.
All right, and we'll try to get a rating from the listeners. Yes, good morning. Who's this?
This is Ann.
Hi, Ann.
Oh, hi.
How you doing, Ann?
Yeah, I wish I could spend more time on that. I really don't want to give these people any more time on this stuff because there's a bunch of crap they spew all the damn time. Let me give these other article here I got here. If nothing else, what the council is doing will at least get these stations to think about supporting Buffalo music, from Rob Falgiano, who's a musician from Buffalo over here. And it says here, we don't want government regulating radio stations. We just want those stations to live up to their community responsibility and give Buffalo musicians a chance. There's another person here that expects to attend the hearings on Wednesday and indicated many other musicians and listeners will be there. We want the opportunity to ask the people who run these stations what they're doing and why they won't play local music or music from Buffalo and West York musicians. The answer is because, like I said, they're answering to dictates of the FCC over here, telling them who make up all these damn rules that basically are the most blatant racist rules there ever was on this thing. Okay, realistically, I don't know if they'll ever change, but at least these hearings will open some eyes. Well, they tried to open some eyes in the 1990s, but these people closed their minds and their hearts to this stuff right away over here. WBNY 91.3 FM, the Buffalo State College Station, is the area's major outlet for Buffalo music. So, like I said, I'm just echoing things that people have said 30 years ago. Ah, man, all these papers and everything here. Sorry about this, folks. It's kind of hard to do a good show when you got so many things to do at one time over here. And if I had more time to do this, I'd be over here. So, like I said, there's WBNY again. And I'm not going to mention this. They have another radio station in Canada, which I'm not going to mention because Canada sucks about the signature bridge issues and everything else about that. So I don't bother with them on this thing anymore. And just supports everything I've said about WBNY. They're the only radio station in Buffalo that supports Buffalo the right way. And that's what supporting the music scene in Buffalo is about. Supporting them the right way. It's not about financial gain or anything else like that. I don't care about your financial gain. And if you sit there saying, well, we'll lose money if we support Pollard, then lose some money. I'd rather you lost money and be honorable about this than do it your crappy-ass racist way over here and keep brainwashing everybody to practice racism with you on this. And that's all they're doing on here. Okay, one other statement here real quick here. The Goo Goo Dolls sold about 50,000 copies of their third album, Hold Me Up, released on Metal Blade Records, which is part of Warner Brothers Records. The album received airplay on radio stations throughout the country, but not in Buffalo. Surprise, surprise, surprise. Radio in Buffalo is nothing like it used to be, said Johnny Resnick, Johnny Goo, lead guitarist with the band. They don't care about local music. All they care about is the money. I've been saying that we all know about this now, you know. Mark Josie runs the Icon nightclub, who also hopes the council will make a difference. It's got to help because nothing else has happened here in the last 10 years to change radio. Without radio support, and here's the statement you really got to pay attention to. If I wish I could shoot this up a lot more, I'd let you read this for yourself. Let me see, right down here. Without radio support, the musicians just can't make it. That's why they leave. Now, Joe Public here, which I just showed you right here. No, I'll let you look at that real quick here because I should have brought this guy out here. And I'll do it right now, as a matter of fact. I just wanted to make sure I brought this group up here. Joe Public. Joe Public is made of 4 young East Side residents. The band made it in New York City and is now one of the hottest R&B was one of the hottest R&B acts in the country. When they released their first album this year, it was not played on Buffalo radio until the hit single "Live and Learn" broke into either parts of the country. Now it's a shame Buffalo has to wait that long to get these bands to hear these bands. And you know, by supporting bands like this in the beginning, like they're supposed to, these people get some audience in Buffalo here, get larger crowds in there to support their bands, and they get hopefully a lot of these people buy some of their music over here, and that'll give them the money they need to go travel around other parts of the country over here to promote their music a little better. And the radio stations just keep sideswiping us with all this saying, well, they got to leave Buffalo. No, they have to earn money. They have to be recognized in Buffalo first. Because if you won't recognize your people in your own home, how are they going to be recognized outside of there? And why are you always trying to push these people out of Buffalo? That's awful strange behavior for people who claim to support Buffalo around here. It's not like local radio has to be turned upside down. Maybe they play one local record a day, one local CD a day. Maybe they could put on a local music show on a weeknight. And about that now, I want to just tell you right now that there's a report here. I was with David Franzek when we made this report here, and let me just show it to you right now here. I've got to keep the finger on my dial here so I know so you get a chance to look at it here. Let me show you this thing. Okay, let me lower this down. I made this report with them in 1993. Toward the end of 1993, early part of 1994. And I monitored one particular radio station, WNJQ, otherwise known as the Stinky Stanky Breeze, maybe that's another station, obviously, there. Maybe it's that. But the State of Buffalo Radio here basically supports this article here, right here, adds support to this and strength to this article over here. And this article over here was made 30 years ago. 30 years of racism in this city. Enough is enough already. This was made July 3rd, 1992. 30 years, and they still won't play music from Buffalo and West York musicians. That's not a goddamn democracy. That's dictatorship. I don't give a damn about their goddamn money. And anyway, we made this report here. Now, time doesn't permit me to do it, but I'm going to probably spend some time to talk about this on my show a little bit more often here. Bring this up from here on now from my future shows over here so you get a chance to understand this a little better. And, you know, like right off the bat here, it talks about the survey. We have the list of radio stations we monitored. They're like, okay, let me shoot this up again real quick here so you get a chance to look at that. Okay, there's the ones who monitor WBFO, WBLK. Let me see, WBLK, WBNY, WBFY, BUF. I think that's the 97 Rock station now, or I'm sorry, the Stinky Stanky Breeze station once it was. GRQ, Kiss My Ass, WKSE, WMJQ, the station I monitored, by the way. WNUC, a country western station at that time. WUFO, AM station at the time. WUFX, now known as the Edge. The Fox, it was known as the Fox, now it's known as the Edge. And WYRK, those yerks. And we monitored radio stations, and I was definitely prominent in my monitoring this radio station. As a matter of fact, I did more monitoring of these radio stations than everybody else because a lot of them didn't even want to be a part of this thing. They didn't want to spend any time monitoring this radio station because they didn't want to be afraid that everybody get addicted again to this crap. So, and if I can find my station real fast here, the station I monitored, WMJQ 19. Let me see if I can find page 19 real fast here. Okay, I got it here. There it is. There's my station. There's the station I monitored. Damn. Oh, boy. And I can't, I monitored this radio station. I listened to it, and as you can tell by the report, there was only one song from Mr. Big, a song I just played here a little while ago, or on my last show, who I didn't even know they had a Buffalo musician on their group. There's nothing worth noting as far as local music is concerned. I can't recommend this station for any kind of award to the committee. I find it reprehensible that artists from every city in the world can be played on Buffalo radio, yet artists and groups that are in our own home cannot get the time of day in our own city. We're caught up in a programming web of classic rock, easy listening, and tested winners from braver sites. Let me see if I shoot this up one more time here so you get a chance to read it a little bit better there. Braver cities. Local radios failed us, sold us down the river, betrayed its essential mission of expanding our oral world. Local bands whom these stations are ignoring embody the independent seat of the pants spirit of rock and roll. And like I said, I'll show you some of the stuff I hear. I'll show you. I got 2 pages worth of how much of monitoring work I did on this thing. Track this down a little bit more here. This is. I spent a whole week monitoring this radio station over here. All this and you see right there, Mr. Big. You can barely see it there, but the name of the song is Mr. Big. And the song they played wasn't even an original song they made. It was a cover song called Wild World. So, that pisses me off about these radio stations around here in Buffalo. Oh, boy. Oh, sorry, folks. It's an insult to Joe Public. It's an insult to Grover Washington Jr., Brian McKnight, Spyro Gyra, Gamelon, 10,000 Maniacs, Natalie Merchant, Peter Case. Well, I can't say Peter Case is from Buffalo. I want to say he is, but I've seen some of his sites on YouTube and it doesn't show anything that says he's from Buffalo over here. All right, well, enough of my talking. Let me continue with this here.
Oh, real good. How are you?
Good. Well, not so good.
Well, listen, Lanny is a deadhead.
Use my picture, as everyone knows.
Talking about that is no reason for people to be angry with him.
But Dan, how could he write about you if he didn't listen? Think about that. He must listen, right?
That's true.
So maybe he really does like you guys. I think he's jealous.
Here's what I want to do.
He's got a crush on Dan, actually.
I want to start a campaign. I think, why should he be the only writer without his picture over his column?
Right.
I think, and if he feels a little self-conscious, we could use Dwayne's picture.
Well, I was wondering why they didn't use my picture. As everyone knows, it has been documented. Dan is my dad.
I'm your dad. And I'm proud of that.
But they never,
you told me.
They never use my name in the articles.
Well, Darren Sandpaperface Neverth, son of Danny Sandpaperface Neverth, this is your lucky day. Hang on for a few moments here while I bring this subject up here, because I'm gonna tell you right now, I got something just what you need to see. We finally, through the offices of Something Different in Buffalo here, we finally found a picture worthy of you. So give me a moment here. I'm looking as fast as I can here. If I get it right, timed it right over here. Let's see what I can do here. Hang on. There we go. Okay. I found it. Ladies and gentlemen, Darren Sandpaperface Neverth was complaining because his face and name were never mentioned anywhere. Well, we got a picture of him right now over here. I want you to take a good close look at this thing. So this, ladies and gentlemen, here's the face of Darren Sandpaperface Neverth, son of Danny Neverth, Sandpaperface Neverth. Oops, wrong one. That's not it. Okay, come on. I just had it. There it is. There it is. Oh, come on, man. Jeez. Sorry about that. Okay, the ape that spoke. That's right. That's Danny. There's Darren Sandpaperface Neverth here. Hang on a moment. Okay. And here's some more comments for you here. Yes, I, Darren Neverth, am the enemy, or is that enema of Buffalo, New York. And if you take a look at that ugly mug, boy, that tells you something right there about him. I had something else I want to say about this, but you're talking about a guy who, I saw him on the beach the other day with his girlfriend, and the only difference between him and his girlfriend was 10 pounds in a bikini, and she had the 10 pounds, and he had the bikini on, and no $100 bill in the forehead. So guess what, folks? There's the face of Darren Sandpaperface Neverth, son of Danny Sandpaperface Neverth. I hope you're happy now, Darren. We got your face on the picture now. I hope you're happy. Take a good look at that ugly mug of his. Boy, that makes you want to cringe, doesn't it? Brings what the hell is the science they have over here they talk about? Cavemans and everything else like that. Oh, I don't know. Okay, well, I hope you enjoyed. I hope those helped you out there, Darren Sandpaperface Neverth. I hope you feel a lot better now. There's your face. Hope you enjoyed that. Okay, let me see here. All right, I'm not sure I got much time here, so I'm gonna have to. Let me just start doing something here with once more time here with the Pine Dogs here. And I'm going to play them right now. It's called Moving Pictures over here. And let me set this thing up real quick here because I got running out of time here. There's a lot more I'm going to do about this article here. This article right here is just a tip of the iceberg on this stuff over here. I already showed you a little bit of this stuff. We're going to get more of it later on. All right, hang on here, folks. Sorry. And, you know, it makes me mad. He lies about Anthony Violante. One lie after another with Anthony Violante over here. Say Anthony Violante doesn't know anything. I gotta show something. A couple of things for you right here. There's another thing I wanted to read here, but I won't have time on this thing. Let me do this real quick here. Again, this involves the Joe Public. Let me just shoot this up as fast as I can. Anthony Violante, there, number one. He's talking about this. And among other things he talks about, right here, Brian McKnight, the latest Buffalo singer to make a national impact. And topping right next door over here is got the Brotherhood Nation. They got on Amherst Records. They're from Buffalo and Western New York. Who else we got on here? Let's see. Okay, the Buffalo Radio Access Committee continues its quest to get local music stations to play local music here. Let me just see if I can read this up real fast so I can read it. The committee has been meeting for nearly a year and plans to mount pressure on local stations this summer. Unfortunately, David Franczek should have followed up on this thing because we made this report and he didn't follow through on this like he was supposed to, because had he done so, he might have been recognized as a hero for Buffalo musicians around here. Instead, he just kind of went through the motions on this thing. So, let me just, oh man. Got so much stuff over here. So many things. If I could do it my way, I'd put an end to these people once and for all, because I'm so tired of these bastards. They're racism drug pushers, bottom line. Racism against black people, Buffalo in general, and they have the gall to call Anthony Violente. I heard that. So let me do the moving pictures real quick here. This is the Pine Dogs with the song Moving Pictures here on Something Different in Buffalo here on Think Twice Radio. Okay, that was the Pine Dogs with the song Moving Pictures here. And this is Something Different in Buffalo here on Think Twice Radio. And I'm sorry if you sound the volume over here. Okay, moving on quickly now. I'm going to play one song by Mr. Big, if I can. Oh, well, before we do anything else, before I do that, I'm going to play the Goo Goo Dolls because, talking about the Neverett family and all this other crap over here. I wish I didn't have to do this. Okay, let me give you this here also, because this is shortly after we did this report. They made this report here. I managed to blow this up so you can get a chance here. So with that in mind, let me play the Goo Goo Dolls real fast here. And this is for Darren Everett, also for this guy here, Thomas Matias here. He wrote this follow-up article. Instead of finding ways to encourage radio entrepreneurs to start new local stations that fill existing needs, the reason why we don't do it that way, Thomas, old boy, is because simply put, these radio stations want way to make money, and the best way to make money is to practice racism. Racism and blind faith to people over here. Tell them how to lie to people. How to lie to people how they support Buffalo. So this is for these people here, for Darren Sandpaperface Neverett, and for Danny Neverett. This is for you. Since you like the crap on the Goo Goo Dolls, this is for you. Okay, that was the Goo Goo Dolls. Danny Sandpaperface Neverett's favorite band. They likes to mock and ridicule all the time and squirrels crap on them all the time, as well as other bands. Oh, and there's one other thing I want to do real quick. I should have done this with the other show here. Okay, let me see if I can find this real fast here, because there was some other stuff I want to talk about real fast here. If I can... Come on. Where is it? I just had it. Oh, come on. There it is. Okay, let me just do this real fast.
To associate himself with, spent more time talking about those 6 million people who were killed during World War II, which, by the way, were a greater number than any one country's casualties, than any other issue on World War II. This, in spite of the fact that when they want to smokescreen this issue, will all of a sudden add up the cumulative totals of all the countries to make it seem more impersonal. I mean, here I have a cassette from the Pine Dogs as well from the Pinheads. Okay, I mean, here I have a cassette from a cassette from the Pine Dogs, a CD from the Pinheads, and a CD from Jive Injection, which, if you look at the cassette, you'll notice that which Darren Nervith carefully fails to mention, is that the Pine Dogs, whom Darren Nervith insults, not only has their material recorded here in Buffalo, New York, but, and you don't have to take my word for it, I'm quite sure they'll speak for themselves about it, they come from Buffalo, New York themselves. Nervith obviously must be a descendant of the people of the island of Schiffer, who are the stupidest people on Earth. So when Nervith says something stupid like he usually does, you can say he has Schiffer brains. Nervith Station says they don't break the rules, they make the rules.
Okay, well, enough of that there. If you can hear me, I hope you can hear me. Okay. Well, anyway, I got one last thing to say here about this year, because like I said, you just saw the Pine Dogs, Godchild, and Jive Injection. Those are the bands that Danny Nervith and his son dare crap on all the time. One other thing over here, you see, for 30 years I've heard about the Jews talk. For the first 30 of my 68 years, I've heard the Jews talking over and over again about the Holocaust and 6 million Jews. That's all you ever do. Don't talk about that. 6 million Jews. 6 million Jews. They push it down your throat all the time. Oh, by the way, we got a few million people here who died over here, but the hell with that, 6 million Jews. And two questions kept popping up in my mind all the time. First off, why would Hitler hate the Jews that much? And secondly, how could Hitler hate the Jews that much? Well, after listening to the Nervith family running their mouth all the time, their toilet mouth all the damn time, I finally figured it out, So guess what, Nervith? Thanks a lot. Thanks to you, you brought out the inner Hitler in me. I can promise you, you're not going to regret that at all. Because like I said, I've been really tired of this with you people. You've been playing this game over for years. You play all kinds of games. You wait until the summertime when bands will only show up once a year, one time during the summertime, and never be heard from again. When you could have been playing their music on your radio stations to promote them, they'll get a bigger audience. But you never do any of that stuff, Nervith. All you do is dump on people like me who support these people, and that's not going to fly with me. David Franzek should have stepped up to the plate on this thing, but he had the report made. All he had to do was just take it to court. Well, unfortunately, this is running short of time over here, so that's about it. This is a special episode number 2. I got more to come over here. You just got a small taste of what's coming down the road for you folks. So this is DJ Brass Knuckles, Richard Jazuski saying, support Buffalo as always. Make supporting Buffalo, the musicians, the athletes, and their music and their athletes' athletic talents, make them supporting them the priority, not the minority, and do the right thing. Support Buffalo. Have a good night. Support Buffalo as always, and I'll talk to you next time around.